So one of the things that, again, you know, with the person, you don't have to feel that this movement that you can make distinctions about, that's usually going to be quite discreet, yeah, and small, doesn't have to be in. Walking is a really hard one to feel it in, obvious, for many of us. Huh? Could be in lying. It could be are your legs and arms light? How do you shift your weight? What does your head connect through to? Huh? What's something that you know how to look for? So what are you learning from that? No. Okay, that's fine. But that's what I'm saying. It's great that you're in there doing this, but what would happen if you asked a question? Because what you're saying in ATM is just do the movement, but I'm not going to direct your attention anywhere, or just do the movement. So what's the question you're asking her? Now, do it again and have that as your question. He's asking now, how does you shift the weight left and right? Yeah? Now, in standing, go on, off you go. Is this clear? You haven't even got her. She's not interested. No. You want to know how she wants to shift. What do you need to understand to shift weight? What have we been talking about? Ground. So I must give Linda ground. I must give her the relationship that I'm asking the question about. Because I want to know how she shifts her weight. Are you engaged really differently now, Linda?
You know, it feels quite different.
Yeah, because I'm asking her a really clear question.
I'm not just going for the ride.
I'm not well, because you can go for the ride with that though, and see, you're going to get more information. Just on the here, and gave it down. Yeah. Is that more interesting for both of you now? Yeah. Does Linda feel as if you're asking her a question now, as if she's looking for something? So do it again without giving her that, what you did the first time. Yeah? Off you go. Linda's just walking. Huh? So you haven't engaged her curiosity or her interest. Huh? Why not? If she can't feel it. Yeah. So, Linda, I'm really interested in how you shift your weight. No? Let's just find your relationship with the ground.
Oh.
Yep.
Like
Does that?
Yeah, I feel like I'm holding my breath to push it down that way.
Yeah. So maybe you need a different place to put your hand. Yeah.
Oh, would you look at that?
Would you look at that? And now, Linda, we're really interested in, as you're walking, how you shift your weight from one foot to the other. So that's an ATM question. I've directed her attention. So it's not just about walking around. So that's why I'm saying you want something that you ask questions about, that you are interested in, that you know that you're looking for relationship. Okay, so I'm here, yeah, and we'll do it without your hands on. Yeah, and I'm a client who's just come in and I've got no idea what Feldenkrais is. And you're going to ask me to do something.
Okay. Please.
Turn to the left or turn to the right.
Julie, please turn to the right. And now please turn again to the right. Pay attention what I am asking to you.
Mhm.
Turn to the right, but very, very slowly to the right. Very, very, very slowly. Okay.
I don't know the rules of the game here.
Yeah.
No, but really, do you know what I mean? How are we engaging? Because all I'm going is, I've never been to Feldenkrais. No? So what could you have added to that? Very, very slowly, turn to the right.
Turn to the right, very slowly.
Do an ATM thing.
Please, when you go to the right, pay attention what's happened. Before I ask you to turn to the right, I will ask you to sense where are you sitting, your sitting bones in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Can you sense your sitting bones?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
I can sense my right more than my left.
You can sense your right more than your left. Okay. In which part of your sitting bones are you sitting? You are sitting.
Oh, I'm on them.
You're on them. Okay. Can you go forward on them? Okay. And then backward on them? And
because it's just ATM, really, isn't it?
Okay. And then
is one way easier than the other? Then I'm scanning for something straight away.
Okay. Yeah. I'm talking not you as a client, but I observing Julie how it's sitting, because she's sitting more flexing. I will maybe ask her not to turn to the right and to the left. Maybe go to see towards the floor.
Yeah.
And then towards the ceiling.
You're always looking for, is the person engaged? Especially at the beginning. Do you know what I mean? Are these meaningful questions for them? That's what you're trying to find out, because this is the whole learning part of the paradigm. No?
Yeah.
So once you put your hands on me and ask me the same question, because this is the beauty of using your hands. So you're going to put your hands on on me, and you're going, what's your question?
What's the question?
Yeah. And you can ask me the question, but what question are you asking?
Sorry. Can you sense your sitting bones on the place you are in this moment sitting?
She just gave me ground. I just settled. I'm not sort of still a bit nervous, but you know, it's
okay. We are going to
give me a bit more ground. You just lost me again.
Please pay attention and sense from your sitting bones, when you go forward, which part of your sitting bones are you touching or sensing now? And then we come back to the middle.
And this is because she's now engaged me in a conversation. I'm going to feel more, I don't know, that I can feel my sitting bones. And this is when you're going to have to come in and go, well, where is she moving easily? Is it your feet you feel it in? Because I'm now finding out the bits that they understand. Can you feel the weight shifting on your feet? Is it something in your shoulders you feel it? Is it, and you know, I'm often looking and seeing. So as I'm doing that and I'm going, oh, her feet are shifting weight because I can feel it. So I'm going to say, can you feel as we go forward that your feet shift their weight? Because it's already happening. I'm not going to do it if you do that and you take me forward and my feet aren't included in the image. I'm not going to see, yeah? I'm joining dots for them. I'm looking for relationship.
Anywhere, I try to see
Where could I go? And you might say, oh, that doesn't, let's try another direction. Let's see if it's easier for you to go in another direction. And I suppose, I know I'm pushing you here, but the biggest thing I've found is the more information you have about the person, the better. The more you're not going to feel as nervous. Because you're not just, oh my God. So how do you find this space on yourself that you've been cultivating in ATM and bring that to the interaction? Because you'll have already learned, you might have already learned, she likes a little bit more pressure, or she likes a light pressure. I've really got to give a ground for her to feel settled in this position. And that's why for many of you, it might be pushing through the foot is going to be the thing you might want to use.
I just had something I was relating it to, and I just want to check how this syncs with you. Doing a human-centered or like client-centered design sort of process, often you'll ask really broad questions to get a big picture and then to see what stands out, and then maybe focus on 1, 2, 3 things, and then get more specific about those things, and then find something to focus on. So it's creating a broad picture and then going, all right, we're going to
and you're really in that place of, you've created a picture that you've got them, and then you say, do you notice anything about your breathing? And as soon as you see them do that, you go, this isn't what they scan for. Do you know what I mean? If I want to really go in and make something easy for them, but if they go that, and then I have to say, well, is your breath more in your belly or in, and they settle. So that this is the FI. This is the FI, what you're doing now, because we're continually assessing. We're continually asking questions, finding out more about the person, getting them to spread their attention. Yeah? So my next question to you, because we've got to take a break, is what have you found out now, just from the information you've got, about what the person needs? And is it enough for you? It might be enough for you to go, I think I've found out enough that I could, do a particular thing or explore it more. Or am I still sitting there going, I don't know what to do? Huh? I'm suggesting it's a way to do it. Yeah? So that it's not, because as I said, we're not great role models because you don't see us go through this in great detail. But believe me, my clients, I am. In my practice. I really have to find out how much they sense, what's easy for them, what's difficult for them. How much do they understand of themselves? How do I set this up as a learning environment, not me doing things to them? Because believe me, I've got clients that I didn't set it up that way, and it's really difficult to change. Or that it's going to be me who's doing it all. Yeah? Still with them, don't get me wrong, I'm not doing it to them, it's with them, but it's been a much slower process to be able to get them engaged in the process because I didn't engage them enough at the beginning to make their own distinctions, because there's then their self-direction. That's what they can then begin to use. They understand the language of what we're looking for.
Linda?
Inclined in anything.
The ATM, you're encouraging that same type of learning, but in the FI.
Because for a lot of people, you know, they go in and, you know, I can honestly tell you if I went into, there'd be many things I would walk in and I would go, I don't understand any of this. Books I've read. And I go, sounded like a really good book, but really, I don't understand any of it. Am I going to keep reading it and saying, oh, yeah? Or do I go, at the moment, this book doesn't make enough sense to me to change anything for me or to add anything to my sense of information because I'm just there going, huh? And this is where I think Feldenkrais talked a lot about cerebration. When it's just words that we're doing, but it's not in action. There's a separation there between the two. Yeah? So I'm not suggesting to you at all that this is the process you have to go through. You need lots of ways. But I am suggesting that if you can find ways to find out more information. Yeah? And it was like Elizabeth the other day said, hands-on isn't my greatest way. But she's got lots of skills in observation. Yeah? What are the things that I know I can get more information out of? And that I can see that they're engaged in the process, that they're not just sitting there not knowing what to look for or it's not very interesting to them. Okay, lunchtime. We will be back at 2:30.